Crosshairs, I'm going to record a video, so you go watch Disney Plus or something.
Fine. Well, I'm gonna go watch Hamilton again.
I swear that bot needs to get something else to watch. Like the Netflix Siege show, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So why don't we just dive right on in? Hold on, I'm getting a Skype call. Hello?
Hey Dakota, I got more ideas for Resolve. I was hoping we could go over it.
Sure, but can I wait a little bit? I'm kind of trying to record something right now.
Oh, what you recording?
I'm actually recording my thoughts on the Siege Netflix show. Just a quick little thing.
Oh, dude, that was so cool. It was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, really good show. I can't wait to make this video about it.
Oh yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah. hmm
So I kind of need to go so I can record this.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you could, or I could, maybe give some insight on my thoughts as well, maybe.
I mean, sure, you could stay and talk with me about it if you want to.
Oh, awesome! Because there's actually a lot to go over in that thing, man. Yeah, this could be fun. Let's do this.
Alright, I guess we're going to be doing this review with my good friend, so everybody please welcome KidConvoy82.
Hi guys, I'm doing the peace sign to the camera, but I know you can't see it, so cool.
Alright, so let's get this review started. What should we start with?
How about just the general, like your general thoughts about it? Like, did you enjoy it?
Overall, just, yeah, it was a good show, and I thought it brought some interesting new things to the table. It's not obviously perfect, but it's really hard to compare it to. On one hand, it's hard to compare it to the Prime Wars trilogy because obviously nothing's going to be that bad. But on the other hand, it'd be really insulting to compare it to like Prime or Animated or like just the greats, because then it's like, then everyone would say that they hate it.
Yeah, no, that's a fair comparison. Like, first of all, let's just never bring up the Prime Wars trilogy ever again. Can we just not do that? This was a really good retelling of what I think was the first 15 minutes of the original G1 series. Like, that's basically what it was really covering, which I thought was cool. Little thing that I thought was awesome was the fact that the first few bots that we see is a Seeker, and then immediately we were followed by Bumblebee and Wheeljack. And I thought that was such a cool nod to the original series.
I agree.
I agree with you saying that it's not the greatest, but it checked a lot of boxes for me in a lot of really good ways. Like, it wasn't just by the numbers. It took some risk. The fact that you could see hints of Megatron in Optimus and vice versa. The fact that this was not a perfect Optimus. This was not a completely evil Megatron. It's bits of gray with both characters and both factions, both fractions, both factions. Personally, I feel like my major nitpick is that I kind of wish it was maybe a couple more episodes longer than it was. It was only 6 episodes, but I would have preferred it if it was like maybe give me 2 more episodes just to help flesh out the world a little bit more, and get us to let us get to know a little bit more of these characters before the jump to the boarding of the Ark basically, and then going towards Earth.
That's something I was gonna say as well. Like, I would have loved to see like a few flashback episodes to show more of the relationship between Optimus, Magnus, Alpha Trion, and Megatron, to see what they were like before the war. And there were like a couple of lines towards like the Autobots being elitist types. I would have loved to see more what could have been to like flesh out like what they were feeling before, to see how Megatron got to where he was to where he is.
Right. I mean, I fully agree because they hint at like the fact that the Decepticons were the downtrodden. They were the ones who decided to rise up, and it's like you can get behind it. I mean, there's a reason why there are so many Decepticon sympathizers. But it's also like this is a story of someone who went too far. Literally, the old saying of absolute power corrupts absolutely. And you see that with Megatron, where the idea that they have the chance to completely wipe out the Autobots. And even though he hesitates, ultimately he starts to go towards that. And you can see that, yes, this is like his fall. This is him like absolutely going off the deep end. And that's what directly leads to, personally, one of my favorite characters, Jetfire, like deserting and deciding that he wants to become an Autobot.
See, that's something else I wanted to briefly touch on as well, because when I first watched the show and I got towards the end of the show where he turns, in my mind I felt maybe a little rushed, but then like going back and rewatching it again, I saw that there was definitely some bits of already like questioning whether or not he's on the right side already, but ultimately staying with the Decepticons for the time being. And I thought that was kind of nice, so I decided to take that away, and I'm glad that I was proven wrong in that fact.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a bit of a slow build. It wasn't really that fast. You do see it, but I can't deny the way how Jetfire was introduced in that first episode made me go, this is the same guy. Like this, like he was completely ruthless in that first episode, and I'm so used to the no, basically the gentle giant, the scientist turned warrior versus Jetfire, this guy who's like, oh hey Starscream, you talk back to me, slice.
Yeah, for real. I would still love to see like maybe he's still got a bit of a scientist in him, but obviously the war like changes who you like need to be.
That's the reason why I was hoping that maybe we could do more episodes, because then we could see like how, like you said, how these characters got to that point. Like certain characters who I thought were like highlights and who I wish they would focus on a little bit more was Elita One, who turned out to be my favorite character of the entire series so far, and Impactor. Like those two characters, I really wish we got a little bit more on.
Yeah, for real. Like watching Impactor like start out where he was and then ultimately make the turn to and like say how this isn't the Megatron that he knew when he signed up to be for the Decepticons, and talking about how he ultimately still wants to protect the people of Cybertron. I thought that was really nice, and I agree with you that Alita really is the standout smash hit of the show, because they really did her character well, and I would still love to see what they could do with the story of her and Optimus, how they had a relationship together.
I love the fact that she's the one who just questioned everything, and rightly so. Like this is clearly a younger Optimus who it feels like he just got command, doesn't it? Like he
It
just
it
got the
does,
Matrix.
and he touches on it briefly, saying like, "Oh, the Matrix and leadership, they were both thrust upon me when you murdered Alpha Trions." Like he's still learning how to be the Optimus that we all know and love, and I kind of like that it's not just the whole all stoic all the time thing. There's emotion to him, and that's something I've always wanted.
That's something. Yeah, I fully agree. You mentioned Prime, the Prime series before, and the fact that we shouldn't really make comparisons to the two, but immediately towards like whenever he was talking with Elita and whenever he had to directly deal with Megatron, I got shades of the Prime series with the way how he would just address certain things, like the joke of Primes don't party, but you can see that there's like conflict in him, that he really wants to, he almost doesn't want this. um and I really enjoy that, because that to me makes Prime better. Whenever people say that, oh, Prime is perfect and that's the version of Prime that we like, I always have to disagree, because I never like my heroes perfect. I like flawed heroes, like because I feel like I can get behind them more. And seeing that this is a Prime who constantly was questioned about his judgment, because he wasn't sure if what he was doing was going to basically allow the Autobots to survive. Heck, with Bumblebee, he's like, I don't even want a part of this.
See, and that's something that was always really nice about it, because it makes it more relatable on certain levels. Like with Optimus in particular, not every decision is going to be the right decision. You just kind of have to have faith and hope that you're making the right call. And sometimes you learn the most when you're making mistakes, and that's kind of what's shown here as well. Because Optimus makes a pretty bad mistake with the Ultra Magnus, giving him the coordinates to the Allspark, and
Um,
ultimately nearly killing Cog.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Cog was dead. I mean, sorry. He's missing his chest.
Yeah, he's a huge hole in
Like going back to Moonracer. Moonracer? Wait,
quote unquote
Moonracer?
Moon Racer.
Moonracer, right? Question. I'm saying Moonracer with quotations.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was literally pulled apart and then died, and I'm kind of like, you that killed you? Okay. I mean, I get that it was done for dramatic effect, and also zombies.
But at the same time, it's like they kind of just thrust Moonracer in there as kind of a nameless thing. That's something that I kind of agree with you would have been great if we just had more. It could have fleshed out more because characters like Ironhide and RC, they're just kind of thrown in there. It's like, hey, you know them, but they don't really have anything to them.
Yeah, like Prime just goes like, "I'm going to make a roll call," and then she just showed up, and
Exactly.
I think I even like as I was watching the show, he dropped her name, and I immediately looked up like, "Wait, what? Like, where did RC come from?
Yeah.
Like she's here? Where's Hot Rod? Where's Springer? Are you going to bring them in too? That would be fun."
I mean, Springer did have a Siege toy.
And I love him. That would have been great, but yeah, maybe that would be funny if they brought him in Earthrise, and you're like, okay, now where did you come from?
I mean, I mean, Alita is back on Cybertron with Jetfire and Red Alert, so it's like maybe there are still other Autobots. So like,
Oh, there are definitely more
if
Autobots
Kingdom
around.
ever gives us a Jazz figure, which could sorely be used in the show.
But yeah, no, I also love the fact that this is like we just mentioned. These are all actual figures from the Siege line. Like they took the figure itself and just modeled it into the show. And that was really cool to me because if you wanted to, you could actually recreate scenes from the show itself. And I love that. I love doing things like that.
Exactly, and
Like
that was
if
one of my favorite things from Transformers Cybertron because it's just the design of the toys and it's the same transformation from the toys. So, in all honesty, you could just like have your toys with you and just kind of do along with it. And it's the same thing with this show. That's one of my it really made it feel like it was what we have just come to life, and the designs of them were just great.
next to like maybe the voices of some of the characters, I didn't hate all of it, but
Some voices
yes.
just needed to be like fixed. Honestly, just that's kind of another thing that I would change. Like on one with Hot Link instead of Skyward, but another thing is Hound and Ironhide kind of switch characters. Like Hound
No, not
acts
even that. Like Hound, Ironhide, and Mirage, because Mirage's abilities with Hound's abilities,
yeah, that's
and that's
what
something else
else.
that bothered me.
Like Hound's thing is holograms. What's Mirage doing? Holograms. Like
What?
what?
On a grand scale, the big thing that he did back in the original Transformers series. Like, wait, so you gave that to Mirage? I mean, name wise, I guess that makes sense, but still, for all of us who know like how these characters are supposed to work, that really took me out. I was looking at it like, why, why'd you do this?
I don't fully understand it. Other than that, like just certain characteristics I would have changed. Certain voice actors, I liked all of them, and honestly, some of them were kind of welcome changes. Like somebody said that Shockwave sounded more like a mad scientist, and I can really understand that, and that kind of makes it okay that it's not the normal voice.
Yeah, I actually really did like Shockwave. I'm not really sure how I felt about the voice itself. But his character, his character and his overall plotting was really, really like it really just was like, oh wow, I kind of want more of this Shockwave. I would really love to see like what other mad plans he would come up with to help Megatron and the Decepticons take over. I really like that. I really like that about him. However, God, having Soundwave's voice just,
Well,
I just,
Soundwave,
I just
Soundwave, I
no.
really would have loved to have something closer to how he originally was. Just the Siege voice didn't do it for me.
No, he didn't. But you know who did do it for me?
Hmm.
Sound Blaster. Sound Blaster was a character I was like, wait, I want more of you.
That was
I
a
really
good
want to know what
inclusion.
you're
Honestly,
about.
like you said, makes me want to get the toy. and like have the different emblem on his chest, because that's something that Toy Hacks is definitely going to be getting on, I'm sure.
But yeah, they really. I think what really did this for me versus what happened with the Prime Wars trilogy was the fact that we got to get to know the personalities of these characters, and the delivery of a lot of the lines were just turned up to 10. Like they really fixed a lot of the problems that I had with the Prime Wars series, and just said, all right, we acknowledged it, and this is what we're going to do going forward. Like basically Bumblebee really was a great, this was a good version of him where it was like, he's a good guy, but at the same time he's like, listen, I'm trying to stay out of this war. I just want to do my own thing, which is something I think a lot of people can understand. It's like, yeah, this is a war that's like killing off so many people, but he's like, listen, I just want to live. Like I don't want any of this.
Exactly, and that kind of makes Bumblebee kind of a little more relatable in that sense. I think the only thing I would have changed about Bumblebee's whole thing was maybe kind of show a little more that he leans more towards the Autobots, but still is kind of really reluctant because obviously it's wartime. So
Yeah. I mean, the idea that he got the what was it called?
the
The
Alpha
Alpha
Trial
Trial
protocols,
Protocols. Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
and it left just as quickly as it came in.
Right.
That's
It
kind of
was
one
like,
of the things that I kind of was upset about. It's like I would love to see more of those like come back. Like I don't want them to
yeah.
just be erased from existence completely.
Like the Alpha. See, the problem with me is that the Alpha Trion protocols to me felt like, wait, so this is just a matrix, basically, because it was the influx of information and knowledge that like was handed down from the ages, from the past. I was like, wait, isn't that what the Matrix is supposed to do? And then it also made me. I'm sorry, I love you, Ultra Magnus, but if you had all that knowledge, what made you think going directly to the Decepticon headquarters and meeting with Megatron would have done anything but get you killed?
Oh, it was his own fault. 100% his own fault that he died. He was just stupid.
What are you doing?
But
Oh man, I
but
feel like
aside
I
from
like.
that, and aside from like a few other things, the show honestly it was good. I just feel like I wanted more from it, and I can't wait to see what they do in Earth Rising Kingdom.
One thing though, Megatron's lips.
Oh, that's the one thing I wanted to actually bring up. Yeah, just the lips on Megatron, hate them. And honestly, I know it would have went better without it because there are so many other characters that don't have these stupid lips that were perfect, like
I
Jetfire or
mean,
Starscream. It blows my mind. That was a horrible,
sorry.
horrible choice.
I love Megatron. I loved him in this. He was menacing. He was like really, really dark, and but at the same time sympathetic as well. But man, those lips were so distracting.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. So it's like he's a great Megatron, good voice, good character. Just those stupid lips took me right out of it.
Oh my god! Sorry, now I can't get Megatron's lips out of my head. They're gonna haunt me for like the next week. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, I really, like I said, I really enjoyed this. I feel like they just need to make a few more improvements. Maybe work a little bit more with the voice actors. The animation is top notch. Just yeah, I don't really feel like they need to change anything with that. Maybe just work out some of the little kinks that they had. Personally, I feel like it's definitely one of the better shows that we've had in a while. I'm really enjoying this. I enjoyed this along with Cyberverse as well because Cyberverse is definitely aimed more at the kids, and this was definitely more adult oriented. But I feel like everybody could really just enjoy this series if you're a fan of the Transformers. I give it like a high like 7 out of 10. I
Honestly, I would
really
probably
enjoyed
get
it.
a good 7, maybe 8 out of 10.
So hey, so question: do you want to try maybe doing this again for Earthrise when it comes around?
Oh, I'd love to do it. This was a lot of fun. Honestly, doing it with someone else rather than just doing it sitting here in my office was a lot better.
Oh, that's awesome, man. But yeah, so you know what? Awesome. So you know what? Let me get going. Because there's a couple of things I have to do. By the way, expect another box from me soon. All right, bye.
Wait, what? Mother, every damn time. All right, guys. I guess I'll see you all next time, and thanks for watching.